Let me line everything up correctly here. The crest for my leader keeps falling off. I might just take this off. I don't know. This keeps falling off, and I keep trying to glue it back together, but maybe he doesn't need a crest. Leave that up to a vote for my channel members. So welcome to the live stream. This is showing off the work I did last night. I did a live stream where I was putting on all of the transfers. We'll check out how they turned out. And actually, my iPad died, so the live stream cut out rather abruptly. I've got this set up right now where I'm using my lady boss's iPad because my phone is out of commission, so I have to replace the screen, and that means I am like doing a whole different setup. So right now, the way it is, I've got my iPad leaning up against something. So if you write a comment, basically what I'm saying is if you write a comment, it's going to appear down here, and I might not be able to see it. So if you decide that you want to support my studio a little bit more, send me a super chat so that it lasts a little bit longer. I'll have a greater chance of seeing whatever comments, but I'm going to try to answer, talk to you guys, and answer in the comments anything you send. So yeah, this is it. These are my 9 Mark III Night Lords. I've got a 10th that I've primed, and I'm going to be doing a separate like tutorial, full length, where I'm painting him up. But I'll tell you right now what my process was for painting the rest of these guys, and yeah, that's going to be it. This is like a really fun paint job for me. It was fast. It was it reminded me a lot of the old Night Lords models that I used to paint in 40K. They're brutal. They've got lots of transfers on them. The hardest thing about them was putting these transfers on. I love the transfers too because these old Night Lords insignia they look so metal, so 80s, and they look really great. Thank you, Saito. I had a great time painting them. I actually did a little mini tutorial in my last live stream about how to do lightning bolts. So it's a very simple process, and yeah, I'm just really pleased with how these came out. I think if I have to go back and do anything, do some touch up, it'll be putting some Eshin gray on these bolter cases, but really that's about it. The transfers that I use are from the Forge World Night Lords transfer sheet. So this is what it looks like. And the transfers I used were from like the middle here. A bunch of the like smaller insignia. You can see these like the little mini ones that I cut out for the knee pads. If you watch that other live stream that I did earlier tonight, the knee pads were the most frustrating ones because they're so tiny. The shoulder insignia, they're not too bad. But these knee pad ones, especially when you cut them out and you have to dip them into the micro set, like here is the backing paper for one of them. And it's so tiny. So I was basically holding it with like my tweezers. And like this is what it was like. This is how small the backing paper was. So I would dip this into my bottle of microset here, and I'd basically like be holding it against the knee pad and brushing it on. It was an exercise in patience, and it was just really difficult for some of them. But yeah, my whole idea with these Night Lords is that they're loyalists, which means that they did not turn traitor, they did not follow Horus. And then so because they were loyal to the Imperium, the Night Haunter, their upper levels of command, decided to take them out by the time the drop site massacre occurred. So they are not going to survive the drop site massacre. They're going to go out in a blaze of glory, being murdered by their treacherous brothers. And I think it's such a cool concept that you've got these Night Lords, which are traitors, or which are like really evil space marines that do terrible, terrible things. But within those, you've got these small group of loyalists, like these guys or some other Night Lords that were really doing it so that they could, I don't know, like help the Imperium or be a part of something greater. I consider these guys all like Terran-born prisoners that were pulled out of the prisons, and they were drafted into this army, and they were all just, you know, lifers that were gonna rot and die in the Earth prison, and then they were inducted into being Space Marines and sent on these missions where they were meant to terrify other populations into compliance. And so they were good at their jobs, and so they became like invaluable tools of the Imperium. But they could never be, you know, have parades and be celebrated and stuff, because they're just doing these awful, terrible things to terrify other systems into compliance. But they got the job done, and they were good at their job. And I think through that, they became like proud of what they were doing, or just that they were doing a good job. And I think when they were betrayed and murdered along with all the other loyalists, then it was like a way to say, like, the Night Lords is turning into something else, right? They're now mostly Nostraman-born gangsters and murderers and like really, really bad people. So you've got this core of Terran-born Earthlings that did their job. They were really good at it, and were slowly being replaced by the Nostramans. In my headcanon, that's what it is. Hey, how are you doing? The one from the past. I think when you become like a channel member and you get the little icon next to your name, I think I see the comment a little bit more, a little bit longer on the live streams. They don't disappear as quickly. So channel membership is like super helpful for me as a small YouTube creator. If you decide to help me by becoming a monthly channel member, then it really does help out my channel. It gives me the extra resources and encouragement to do more content, and plus it gives you like bonuses by one of the perks that I offer my channel members is like free digital downloads, early access to all of my long form videos. Like I said, I'm going to be doing a video tutorial on the last Space Marine in this group right here. I've got him primed and black, ready to go, and I'm going to be filming a tutorial painting him from front to finish. And if you decide to become a channel member and support my channel, then you would get access to that video 1 week before the public. So there's my little plug. There's my commercial for the first part of this tutorial, or this live session rather. Yeah, I had a lot of fun painting it. This squad, they're also going to join the Iron Warriors squad that I painted up. And what I wanted to do with this, as soon as I just subscribed. All right, right on. Thank you. As soon as I decided to do this project, Ave Dominus Nox, what I wanted to do with it was to build 2 squads of 10 Space Marines. So these guys, let's see if I could find the Iron Warriors, and then I'll put them side by side. Ave Dominus Nox, Iron Within, Iron Without. I wanted to build 2 squads of loyalists in traitor armies, if that makes sense, because it fascinates me, the stories of the good guys in bad guy armies, and in like vice versa, the bad guys in good guy armies. So the traitors are the people who turned in loyalist armies, and the loyalists that continue to remain loyal to the Emperor in traitor armies after they turned. When I was reading the Horus Heresy book series, they would always get to the parts where you would read about like the loyalist world eaters that were caught in the Istvan massacre, and the Emperor's children that were betrayed by Fulgrim. And those are the coolest stories to me. So I don't think there were enough stories about like word bearers, Iron Warriors, Night Lords, Alpha Legion. Good morning, Edward. Thank you for joining me. I don't think there are enough stories about the loyalists in these traitor armies, and so I thought that was like a fascinating approach to take for doing these guys, and I think they came out pretty well. I'm trying to find my Iron Warriors that I just painted up. If you guys decide to send me any super chats and support me that way, that'd be greatly appreciated. Here we go. Okay, I think I see my Iron Warriors. I'll bust those guys out and show you what I did with my Iron Warriors. Okay, so this whole project is from one single Mark III iron armor box. So you get 20 guys in the box, right? And you can build them up as 2 squads of 10, which I've done, 2 squads of 10, or you could build them up as one big squad of 20. I think either way looks good. In fact, what I'm gonna do while I go on with this live stream and chat with you guys is I'm going to base my Night Lords. I'll give you guys something to look at while I talk, while we hang out. And 36 people watching the stream right now. That's more than I've ever had in a live stream. For the basing, I went with something that I thought was pretty neutral. It's this battlefield debris, black rocks. I got it from Geek Gaming Scenics. So Luke used to do a YouTube channel, which he did like a lot of scenery videos and terrain, and he was so good. And then he developed this product that was like base ready scatter, and I think it's terrific. So I'm going to be using his scatter product today, and then maybe if I have time, what I'd like to do is build. I've got this. It's called Gloinson from RTLW. It's the last miniature of my Fellowship of the Ring, 40K Fellowship of the Ring miniatures. It's supposed to look like Gimli. It's supposed to be Gimli basically in 40K. So if we have time and I can get it all together, then we'll build that before the end of the stream. But yeah, I've been really pleased with this project, and I'm glad it's finally all finished. I can say that this job is completed. The Iron Warriors were not as difficult. The Iron Warriors were actually like really easy to do because all I had to do was the shoulder insignia for them. It was these Night Lords with all of the knee pads that almost drove me crazy. All the knee pads are different. Some of them even have the Nostraman rune on the side of the leg armor. I just really wanted to bling them out, along with the lightning. Iron Warriors are some of my favorite, Night Lords, I mean. The Night Lords are some of my favorite aesthetically. I love the way they look. I think they're so, like, 80s, 90s heavy metal that I just loved, like, recreating them, but in a loyalist way. And Iron Warriors, meanwhile, I was not a fan of like the Iron Warriors when I first started painting. My friend at the time, Joe, had like a big Iron Warriors army. And then I remember the first time I saw it at the club, he pulled out all of his Iron Warriors Chaos Space Marines, and they just looked like metal. Thanks, the one from the past. I'm like really pleased with how this project came out. Like 20 Mark III Iron Armor guys. I think they came out really well. And I saw his Iron Warriors and I was just like, they're just like Chaos Space Marines spray painted silver with hazard stripes on them. Like I didn't see the appeal. And the more I collected and painted, I haven't played any games with them yet. I don't really play with these models, but I do paint them, I collect them, I build them, I assemble them. The more I was actually doing Iron Warrior stuff, the more I enjoyed it. I don't know, it's strange. It's one of those things where, like, if you don't do it and you just watch other people do it, or you just see it being done, then you don't really care for it. But yeah, Iron Warriors is awesome. Iron Warriors is awesome. I've always loved Night Lords since I read the books from Aaron Dembski-Bowden, and I love this hobby. Iron Within, Iron Without, great models. Thank you, Sinister Horse. Yeah, I did a tutorial on how to do hazard stripes, both with a brush and with like a pencil, a number 2 pencil. I'm going to try to get some masking tape, either from Tamiya or Green Stuff World or something. If I can get some of that together, then I'll try to do another tutorial. I've tried using masking tape before, and it didn't really work. Like, I put down the masking tape and I tried to paint the hazard stripes on, but it didn't come out right. Like, the paint leaked under the masking tape, and it made like really bad lines. So I decided not to do that anymore. But I could try it again if I can get some good masking tape and figure out how to do it. It might be user error too. It might be something that was like, I'm just not good at it. I don't know what I was doing. But yeah, my project is, I'm going to say that it's complete. And the next time I paint some traitor models, I'm going to be probably using the Saturnian box of the 40 Mark II Space Marines. And let me know, what do you guys think of the new, if you've seen the pictures? Like, I know everybody's talking about the Terminators and the Dreadnought, but what do you guys think of the new Space Marines in the new Saturnian box? Like, I've never really been a fan of Mark II just because of I thought the segmented leg plates look kind of goofy on the resin models from Forge World, but they've toned that down and they've taken that away. They've making them look much more like understated, so that the rest of the armor looks more like mass produced. And I think I like them. Like, Mark III will always be my favorite mark of armor, but I think if they do it right, Mark II should look pretty good. I remember when they first started doing these early armors remember Betrayal of Calth, Ultramarines versus Word Bearers. This is the Mark IV, plastic Mark IV. Everybody was so excited that Horus Heresy was being done. And I'll put the ones that I finish here, like right in the front. So this is what it looks like when the scatter gets put on. And yeah, I remember getting my first box of Mark IV Space Marines and really just loving how they were, like, you could build miniatures now from the Horus Heresy, and they look totally different from Warhammer 40K. Like, I love that. And then when they started doing the earlier, like Mark III, oh man, Mark VI. I think everybody kind of had like bits of Mark VI armor from other kits. Like, you get the beaky helmets and the more like streamlined leg plates and everything looked a little bit smoother. But yeah, I remember when the Mark III came out, I saw so many cool armies, so many people painting like world eaters and like Iron Warriors and Mark III Death Guard. And then they replaced the old Mark III with this new version, right, where everybody has the spiky helmet. That was a little bit divisive. Not everybody wanted the spike on the top of the helmet, and the old Mark III didn't have to have spiky helmets, but these ones, everybody's got them, unless you decide to go with the bare head option. All right, and just as a reminder, if you're new to the stream and you haven't, like, you missed the earlier part of it, I'm broadcasting from my lady boss's iPad while my cell phone gets repaired. So the way it's set up right now, I'm just broadcasting from the YouTube app. I'm not using like OBS or anything like that. So if you send me a chat and I miss it, it's because right now the chats are appearing right over here, and they last for like 5 seconds. And the way this iPad is set up, it's leaning against some paint pots aimed down at my table. So I'm actually on the side over here doing this basing, like putting this basing material on all of my Night Lords. So if a chat appears here, if you write a comment and I miss it, it's because I'm putting rocks on some bases. So it's not because I'm ignoring you or anything. This is like literally, I've got my tub open here of basing material, and I'm just dipping miniatures that I've got glued into the basing material here like this. And I'm just doing this on the side. So if I miss your comment, I apologize. But a great way for me to see what you write, oh, great, as I spill rocks everywhere, is to send me a super chat. And then I will probably guaranteed see it because they leave those up for a while. But for some reason, YouTube doesn't encourage creators to see what people are writing as the comments disappear after like literally like 5 seconds. If I miss it, then I apologize. Yeah, I'm excited to get a copy of the box. Saturnine. Those big, chunky Terminators are going to be a lot of fun to paint. And that Dreadnought, oh man. I don't know if you guys saw it in the Warhammer community article. They did like an army of 30k Space Wolves, and they had the Forge World Death Sworn miniatures with the like the wolf skull helmets next to a Saturnine like Dreadnought. And it's just like dwarfing them on the battlefield. I had a lot of fun painting my Space Wolves. Yeah, I think this guy's helmet crest keeps falling off. I keep mishandling it, so I'm just gonna leave it off at this point, because if I sell this thing on eBay, it's gonna probably break off during shipping. My customer's gonna be like, what did you do? You didn't pack it right. Also, I think it looks a lot more brutal anyways. The Night Lords and the Iron Warriors, one of the things I like about them is they're not really like flamboyant with their heraldry, like the Ultramarines or the Emperor's Children. So I can see them just being very more like understated with their decoration. Yeah, but I might give this guy some skulls across his breastplate too, the more I think about it. Then he'll match his Vexilla right there. Because right now my Vexilla feels overdressed to the party. He came with 3 friends and nobody else's skulls. So skulls are flayed bits. I think he's feeling a little overdressed. But yeah, let me know what you guys are working on. If I'm able to see any comments in the lower left corner, then I'd love to chat and hang out and not feel like I'm just talking to the void. And I really do, guys. I appreciate every comment, because I think anytime you hit the like button, write a comment, subscribe. Even I think now YouTube is able to track how long you watch a live stream. So I know what it's like to be doom scrolling the live stream channels, and there's some wild, weird, and crazy stuff. Army looking good. Thank you, Buddy Knight. Thank you very much. I built these 2 as an experiment to paint up some loyalists in traitor armies, and I'm really pleased with how they came out. If I decide to build out like a bigger army, then I don't know. I'm going to keep experimenting, because there are a lot of Warhammer 30k armies that I like the look of that I haven't had a chance to paint yet. Like Word Bearers. I've never painted an Alpha Legion, 1,000 Suns. I don't think I painted a Salamander. There's a lot of armies in Warhammer 30k. I want to try painting so that I can see what I like the best. Like, I'm so used to painting Night Lords and Warhammer 40K. That they were a blast. They were fun. And the great thing about Warhammer 30K too, for those of you who play 40K and were thinking of getting into 30K, is especially if you are a Chaos player, there is no trim on these miniatures. Thought about doing one from all 18 legions. I have actually. You know what's a funny story? When the Saturnine box was first leaked, the contents of it, everybody was like, oh, you get all these big chunky Saturnine dreadnoughts and Terminators, but the thing that I was most interested in was like, how many regular guys do you get? 40 Mark II Space Marines would mean that I could do videos on all 18 of the first founding legions in Mark II armor, plus their early Unification Wars / like early Great Crusade pre-reunification with their Primarch. I could do all of their pre-heresy color schemes. Like all of these guys had, like the Night Lords were originally called something else, Crimson something, and their armor looked a little bit different. It wasn't as blue. It was more like grayish or like silver blue. It wasn't this deep midnight blue. And I saw that and I thought, wow, I'd love to paint that. Or like, you know how like the World Eaters were originally known as the War Hounds, and instead of white with blue accents, it was blue with white accents, and they had the War Hound insignia. Looked really cool. So I thought if I'm able to get this box, then I could do videos from all first founding as well as their pre-heresy colors. It's funny, they call it pre-heresy, but I mean, a lot of the legions had continued using their those color schemes into the Horus Heresy. Like, I like how the word bearers originally were like a stone gray, but then you got the Space Wolves in the stone gray, and they look pretty similar. So not all of the legions had really good color schemes. Some of them looked a lot better than the others. All right, thank you to the 24 of you awesome people who are watching right now. Again, I'd like to promote my channel membership. If you join, then you get access to all of the digital downloads become free that I'm making, and as well as custom badges and emotes and all that other stuff. And the satisfaction of knowing you're supporting a small YouTuber who's making content right now, instead of getting some much needed sleep. I'm painting up and basing up these Night Lords, which is good, actually. I wanted to get this project done. I feel like the longer you procrastinate and wait to do a project, the more likely it is that it actually doesn't ever get done. So let's get our butts in the seats. Let's paint these miniatures, y'all. You spent the money on them, so now let's get them painted so you can be proud. I think that's what my channel's always been about, like finishing your projects. Ever since the first YouTube video I ever posted on more than 15 years ago, what I wanted was to track my painting progress for like a dwarven commission that I had taken from, again, the same guy, Joe from Hawaii. So I wanted to be accountable. I didn't want to just take on this painting project and not hold myself accountable for it. So that's why I started my YouTube channel, is to just say like, look, this is the work that I'm doing. This is the progress I'm making. And that way, if I'm posting videos publicly, then people are going to be hopefully following along and wanting to see how it turns out. And that's how the dream started. That's how it led to me painting 20 Iron Armor Space Marines as Night Lords. And Iron Warriors. But yeah, like I was mentioning earlier, I like this concept of loyalists in traitor armies. I also like the idea of traitors in loyalist armies and how you don't have to have fallen to chaos to betray the Imperium and want to break away. Like, I think the Ultramarines have a fascinating story of forming their own like second Imperium, right? Once they got separated because of the chaos storms or whatever, then they basically like became their own second Imperium. And I like the concept that some of these legionnaires might have broken away from the Imperium to not to betray, not to fall to chaos, but to basically be basically break away from the Imperium. 42 people watching this live stream. That's the most I've ever had watching a live stream. That is awesome. I love a Death Watch style Chaos Space Marine warband. Each Marine, oh yeah, with trinkets from their old chapter. That's terrific. I have the Combat Patrol for Death Guard with a few extras. So all that's I've seen the Death Guard one. That's cool. There's a lot of great Death Guard miniatures out there. If you guys are working on anything, any kind of project or anything you want to paint, and you really want to motivate yourself to paint them by the end of summer, then I hope you join the Great Crusade. Check out my Discord. The Discord is going to have all of the information for joining. You basically just say, I want to paint my Combat Patrol of Death Watch or Death Guard by the end of August. And then you don't have to post every day. You don't even have to post every week. You just let us know as you go, and you follow along and you see what else other people have done. Follow along their projects and try to get your miniatures painted. I think that's the best thing to do this summer. We're gonna smash all the backlogs. We're going to get all those piles of shame painted up. I've got a ton of stuff to work on, and I'm dragging you all with me. So join the Great Crusade, get your backlogs painted, and just have a great time doing it. You got me to start painting my miniatures. All right, the one from the past. That's all I want to do with my YouTube channel, man. Help other people to paint your miniatures. I know what it's like. I've got bins and bins, boxes and boxes of stuff that need to get painted. And once we do, then it's going to be a greater world, because miniatures want to be painted. It makes them happy. All right, so I wanted to try to get some painting done. I shall join your crusade. Thank you, the Table's Edge. Join the crusade. It's absolutely free, and the best thing about it is you're going to be working and painting alongside other people who have got their own projects. Some of them really massive, like giant, years and years worth of a collection armies. See, darn it, whoever just sent that last comment, I was right about to read it, and YouTube decided to vanish it, to yeet it from my screen. So sorry. I love how my knights have turned out. Yeah, your knights look great, dude. Like the red and the way all the colors are turning out together, they look really fantastic. If you guys do decide to write a comment, please know that I want to read everything, but I'm looking at a bunch of different things, and the way it's set up, YouTube has my comments appear like in tiny text right here, and if I look away for even a second, I might miss it. So the best way to ensure that I see your comments is to send it as a super chat. Even for like $1, I think it's gonna come out as a different color and I'll be able to read it. But that's only if you really want to support my studio and my work, or you really want me to read what you're writing. If not, I believe the comments are gonna appear. Hopefully they appear in the replay and I can go back and check it out. We're at 35 minutes. Can I see your biggest model? I'll subscribe for it. My biggest model. I don't have. Okay, you know what? If I don't have it, because the biggest model I think I painted would have been the Corvus Corax model that I actually sold on eBay like a week ago. So it's the Primarch for the Raven Guard, and I have some other stuff, but they're not going to be as big because height-wise, that Corvus Corax, he was pretty tall. I will. You know what though? Now that we've taken a look at the Iron Warriors, I'm going to let these hang out over here in the back. And let's do a look at what I've got in my backlog coming up, because number one, I want to get all of you to subscribe to my channel to see me paint these up, and number two, I think it's going to be good for me to see how much of a crusade I'm going to be going on to get these miniatures painted. I'm actually going to be painting a bunch of Forge World stuff. I was thinking of doing like a little series of videos, and I was thinking of like funny names to come up with them, because I spent a good amount of money. I spent a pretty penny to get these miniatures off of eBay from a friend of mine, Binks Wargaming, and so now I got to paint them. So first, I've got 5 Justaerin Terminators. These are all Sons of Horus miniatures. Oh, I got a super chat. Yeah, I have some drones to add to the crusade. Fantastic. In fact, the more miniatures you guys add, the better. I think it's going to be like such a great way to spend the summer, painting up your miniatures and getting your backlogs done. How come whoever sent the super chat, thank you. I don't know where they appear, where I'm supposed to click on to see them. Highlights. Okay, and there's a highlight. There's a chat icon here at the bottom. Here we go. All messages are visible. Oh, hello. Let's click that. There we go. Like this, Buddy Knight. Thank you. Okay, so now I can actually go back and read everything. God, I feel so stupid for not doing that. Rylanor deserved better. Yes, he did. The flesh is weak, but the deeds endure. Okay, let me start going through these comments now. When I painted my Iron Warriors, I clipped all my spikes away. I have about 65 Mark IIIs. There was a lot of clipping. That's hilarious, Sinister Horus. So to help with the tape and the paint bleeding through is paint with the base color and then the color you want over top. Okay, that makes sense, the one from the past. Thought about doing one for, yeah, salamanders. I do have, okay, I found a great salamanders color scheme that I've replicated, and it works. So what I need to do now is get the proper model, and I think the best model for that is going to be one from the Saturnine box. Is painting minis ever finished? No, it's never finished. The one from the past with the orc emote, yeah. So have you looked at the AK interactive paint pens? I have. I've looked at them, and I'm gonna see if I can make a purchase. I think the best ones are gonna be ones that I can write script with, script work, so like black, and I'm gonna see what I can get. What faction are the Space Marines in front? The Space Marines in front, in the very front right now, are the Justaerin Terminators from the Sons of Horus. Night Lords. 30k. Lynx Lord. I love, okay. Combat Patrol. Can I peep your biggest model? I'll sub for it. Okay, I'm almost all caught up with these comments. Thank you, Table's Edge. Yeah, for everybody, join the Discord. Check out the Great Crusade 2025. We started in May, but it's really an all summer long project. The Great Crusade is like, it's fantastic. Our goal is a worldwide goal of getting as much people to join the community and paint 5,000 miniatures worldwide. And I think we can do it. If we get enough people to join, enough people to start whipping through their backlogs, I think we're gonna get through it, definitely. Painting Space Dwarves. Okay, I am done. Sub well earned, he just said like this. Cool. Ave Dominus Nox from the Shatterclad Warband. The Terminator with the Melta needs to be a salamander. I think, yeah, you know what, these are all, unfortunately, these are all Justaerin Terminators. Meet Hams fan. All right, silly little guy. I'm good. I'm good, and I'm all caught up. That's what I'm the happiest about. So I'm going to share with you guys some of the miniatures I have to paint, and then I think we'll be good to go. Man, I have way too much. The thing is, I bought all of these miniatures. I purchased them. I acquired them so that I could fill up my eBay store. And unfortunately, like everybody, I let my painting get behind me, and so now that's why the Great Crusade started, because I want to pick it back up. I know I've got the other two Justaerin Terminators around here somewhere. So I'm gonna keep looking for those. I kind of split everything up when I'm painting from my in-laws' house right now. So everything is in boxes, transporting back and forth. And I think these Justaerin Terminators look really good. They should have more like Sons of Horus iconography on them, but I think they're still really, really nice. Yeah, so he's got the Sons of Horus belt buckle, and yeah, it's not too much though to look at. I built a Night Lords warband for Kill Team using the Legionnaires box, and some of you might have seen this. I did some videos on it, but I'm going to show them off to you now because they look really awesome. And it's basically I think it's gonna help me to paint them if I show them off to you guys. So these are all unpainted. Oh, you know what might be an interesting thought? If these 10 guys, if I can get them painted up, I think they'll look really nice. I hate showing like half painted or unpainted miniatures on stream, but I think these guys all look really cool. So, you know, I'll show them off one by one because I did some kit bashing to them. I got some stuff off of Etsy. They all have Night Lords helmets and shoulder pads. So when you mix that with the Kill Team Legionnaires box, look at all these faces. Oh, so gross. I think that's why I've been avoiding painting them too, because there's just so much on these miniatures. Hello. Yeah, some of these have some really interesting like Night Lords shoulder pads. Like this one looks like a bat. So I don't know to paint them. Maybe I'll paint them in gold because I don't think they're supposed to be like realistic bats that have been chained to this guy's shoulder pad, but they just look really good. And in 40K, all of the chain swords for Chaos, they look amazing. The Kill Team box, when that came out, was really fun. Here's another one with little baby bat wings, just little tiny ones. My reasoning for using this was he didn't want big floppy bat wings getting in his way as he's rushing around, just trying to stab everyone. So that's why he got little bat wings for his helmet, some flayed skin for his shoulder pad. I'm very bad at keeping on top of Discord things, but I'll add some stuff to the Great Crusade. Thanks, Hams fan. Thank you. Yeah, you know what? Discord, the good thing about Discord is like as a social media thing, like you can join and you can like take part in stuff and not ever have to go back and check on it. I don't feel like there's a big social pressure to go back to stuff that you started. But yeah, the Great Crusade is like, I've got a tracker that is gonna like tally up the points of miniatures. As you finish your miniatures and you get stuff painted, then just post them up, and I'm gonna add it to our global total as we go. It's just gonna be a way for me to keep track as we get on to the end of August is really when hopefully we can get 5,000 miniatures painted by then. I think that's gonna be such a great milestone. I've been on your Discord since 2021. Oh, thanks to Table's Edge. I've been out of the hobby for so long. So a lot of people get in the hobby and then they stop for whatever reason, real life, graduate from school, get a job, start a family. And so I was thinking about like, who is my ideal audience for my channel? Look at this guy, it's like a coiled up dragon. And I think my ideal audience are people who want to paint to like I don't want to say super high tabletop standard, but I feel like most of my stuff that I've painted back here are pretty good quality for playing this Warhammer game. And I think it's achievable too. You don't have to be a Golden Demon winner to paint like this. You don't have to have those kinds of skills. You could paint these miniatures using the techniques that I want to teach you, and they'll look pretty darn good. So that's my goal with my channel. to inspire people to paint, to get into the hobby, to enjoy themselves. And now look at this guy. He's happy, he's smiling. His gun is so awesome. Yeah, so these are just some of the miniatures I'm going to be planning to paint over the over the summer. And like my goal, I know everybody's goal is different, but my goal is personally to paint and fill up my eBay store, to become successful at YouTube so that I can not have to go back to a back-breaking 9-to-5 job. And if I could do that, that would be really great. And let me show you guys a product that I bought off of, I bought this off of eBay, but you can also get this just off of the Green Stuff World store. It's photo etched plates. You get two, and these are barbed wire plates. So I took one outside, and I'll show you how I would use it. I was planning on using it for my Night Lords. This is what you look like after you spray it. I sprayed it in like gray. Then you just take your hobby knife and you start from the outside. And you cut right there, and then you can actually do it for you. This is a great product to use, especially if you're not sure, or you're afraid of using brass etch, or you're not used to it. So all you do is cut right there at the corner, and then lift up that part of the brass edge, so like that. And then you just cut these stems as you go, so that you can coil them up. I did these a lot for my old Death Corps of Krieg army, for my Vostroyans. I don't think it was Green Stuff World. It might have been. I'm trying to remember, like, what's the company that did this brass etch barbed wire. But I've always found this barbed wire looks a lot better than, like, Games Workshop does a barbed wire, and I think some other people like Gale Force 9, I don't know if it might have been Gale Force 9. They do barbed wire that looks like, that doesn't look like barbed wire. Like this right here, if I run my thumb on it, this is pretty sharp stuff. And, whew. So what you do now after you clip like a good length is you take your paintbrush and you would wind it around the back. Let me see if I can find a good one. Or you could use your hobby tool. Maybe I'll use my hobby tool. You just wind the barbed wire around and around until you've got like it coiled. Sorry, I wanted to do this on camera, but like I said, I'm having to record off an iPad. It's not the best for filming because it's a freaking iPad and it doesn't fit in my phone holder. All right, so I've coiled a good length of this first section around this hobby tool. So here you can see it. And what you do then is clip it right there, which I'll take my hobby clippers and I will clip the stem right here at the end. And once you wind that all the way around, so this is basically what I'm doing, just winding it around and moving it down the length so it doesn't get all tangled up on itself. Wind it around and around and around so it's coiled up like this. That looks more like razor wire. Yeah, razor wire. I don't know why it's called barbed wire on the thing. It should really be called razor wire. Then you just loosen up a little bit and then you can take it off and you've got a coiled up looking razor wire. Yeah, I kind of screwed up because this should be done on a paintbrush. If it's done on a paintbrush, it'll slip right off, but that had a little bit of a thing on it. So you can see it's got, through the primer, you've got a little bit of the brass etch shining underneath, but you just take that little coil and you can just glue it to the base of a miniature. And you've got razor wire. Now to help, what you could do is put on like you just take some sprue or something, like a toothpick, a couple toothpicks, and shave down some bits and jab them into your base. Glue those down so you make little posts that the razor wire can attach itself to. All right, that's my 1 minute tutorial on how to use brass etch razor wire. All right, thanks for joining me, guys. I know it's an early morning stream for some of you. This is this other product that I wanted to share on stream. I want to use this for like my Imperial Guard, my Astra Militarum. It's wine and beer bottles, also from Green Stuff World. Isn't this cool? It's a bunch of just a bunch of booze to put on your battlefield. I'm imagining you could probably use these on your Imperial Guard, like heavy weapons, bases. I'm just gonna throw these on all of the like sandbags and heavy weapons emplacements. They're so hilarious. Paint them brown or something. You got broken ones, you got full ones. So those are the brown ones, and these are only a couple of bucks. If you go on eBay, I think you can find them. Green Stuff World, beer and wine bottles. They don't come with any labels or anything, but I think if you clip these out and you put these on the bases of your Astra Militarum guys, I think it'd be pretty hilarious. All right, hope you're all doing well out there. Let's move on to some more Forge World, because we'll do a bunch of Forge World tutorials and stuff. So in my Night Lords vein, I've got some Contakar Terminators that I've started. These are the Night Lords specific miniatures that Forge World came out with. I've got 11 that I'm going to do for a commission, but I also want to do 10 for myself that I could sell in 2 lots of 5 for eBay. And we'll just take a look at some of these miniatures before I put these on the painting block here. So these are Horus Heresy, basically they're Horus Heresy era Night Lords Terminators that Forge World developed. And I don't know if you can get them on the Games Workshop website. You might be able to. But Games Workshop's website is notorious for being currently unavailable online. Stuff, especially from Forge World, dating back to the early releases of their Horus Heresy. Resin miniatures like this, like a lot of the Primarch's older miniatures, for some reason, they don't make enough, and they'll be currently unavailable online. And that's sad for a lot of people who want to expand their Horus Heresy 30K era armies, that it's just not available. Like, you have to go on eBay and deal with scalpers or recasters that come out with really bad product, and it's like the Wild West over there. So, like, of course we want to buy from Games Workshop because we want the guarantee of getting like the actual model, but sometimes you gotta, like, if their store is sold out and it's constantly sold out, like, they're forcing us to go out and get more models. It's crazy. Hams fan, thanks again for the donation. That's like the biggest donation I've had in a live stream for as long as I can remember. Oh, and we're at 21 live people watching right now and 21 likes. That is very auspicious. What I've noticed is that the Night Lords get these, they have these little plates. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but they have these little like plates that they hang from their armor. And I think they've got like Nostroman runes on them here, like these two. And I've always wondered what those were. Are those paper? Do I paint them up like my purity seals in paper? Or are those supposed to be metal, like silver? Because I've seen them painted in silver. And yeah, I just don't know. So let me know if you guys know, like these right there on his breastplate. I think they're like the Nostraman Night Lord's version of purity seals, or like status indicators. Like if you have those on your armor, then it's like a good sign. Something that's interesting about these Kantakar Terminators that you don't see on other Terminators is that they have this very gothic part on the front of their grill here, which I've seen painted up in silver and gold, but that looks pretty cool. I think I just have so many Kantakar Terminators, I'm gonna have to paint do like a tutorial. But the thing with painting tutorials is that all 5 of these guys were made to look different. So I can teach some very basic techniques that are going to carry over, like how to paint bone, how to paint the rusted metal for the chains. And it's just actually where you find them. Like you might not find them on whatever model you're painting, but if you're going to be painting a Kantakar squad, then I think these will probably be of use. They've all got that gothic grill on the front. They've all got bones and skulls and chains, and yeah, the Night Lords are just so out there, man. Like they have their aesthetic that they love to. They gotta follow their aesthetic. If you're a Night Lord, hey, you gotta decorate yourself in skulls and flayed skin and bones and stuff. It's just what we do. Like this guy here, I think he's holding a helmet that he ripped up. That's so cool. It's like, yeah, you guys really do stay in your lane, huh, Night Lords? You can't have just like a nice Night Lord's army that isn't festooned with bones and flayed skin. You really just gotta, you gotta be a Night Lord, you follow the Night Lord aesthetic. Skulls and bones, kids, skulls and bones. All right. Those are my Kantakars. So I've also got a fair amount of Death Guard that I want to paint this summer. These are also purchases from Binks Wargaming. I think this is not like a Death Guard specific, but this is a Forge World. I think he's marked, I don't know what mark he is, but he's in Cataphracti armor. He's an apothecary or a medicae in Cataphracti armor, which I think is hilarious. This big tank walking down the field, bullets flying everywhere, and I'll save you, brother. I will save your gene seed. Yeah, look at that. Instead of a saw, he's got like a literal chainsword as a cutting tool. Terrific model. Smelly boys. Yeah, but again, I'm more interested in painting them up as like, not clean, but as loyalists. Although you can't really have loyalists with the later Mark armors because that's already, into the Horus Heresy that they were developing these armors. But I think this guy could be a loyalist. Look, he's got the golden wings of the Aquila on his power pack there. Yeah, but my goodness, I really wanted to get into, like when these guys were first released on Forge World. I remember I was teaching at a private school at the time, and I was like, there's no way I can afford to buy these models. I was just out of doing some other projects at the time, and I did not have I didn't have the money to do it. So I would see it and I'd be like, yeah, that's really cool, but I can't do it. And then with all the recasting that was going on, on eBay, you would find models that you would want to purchase. And we're like, okay, I can get it for cheap, like super cheap, but it's going to take me 2 months to get here. And it's not going to be of like really great quality. Like I wanted the, the actual Forge World stuff. And like it was hard to find on eBay. So basically what I'm saying is when you find a source that's really good and you can get your models for like a fair price, I think Binks Wargaming is terrific. I've promoted him on my channel in the past, and I really think he makes these deals with people that collect Forge World that don't want it anymore. And he works at a shop that he can get the deals for store credit, and then he'll sell them on eBay. Basically, it's like a really good setup for him and for me, as someone who loves these Forge World miniatures. I love that I can afford to purchase them now. And all these miniatures that I saw announced on Games Workshop and Forge World, when they first came out, I can now afford to pick them up and add them to my collection and then paint them up. I think is really good. All right, I think these are called Grave Wardens. They're Terminators that are starting to get some real questionable enhancements to their armor. And I've seen the 40k Grave Wardens, and these guys end up looking pretty gross. But right now you can see they're right in the middle of their mutations and earning their gifts. So they're like really, really cool looking. Right, I guess I'll put these away. Wow, we're already at an hour. I think I'm gonna start wrapping it up soon because I want to take some pictures of the models that I've got painted up and get to work painting those. But yeah, if you guys want to join, follow along on the Discord and add your models. Whatever you're working on this summer, they could be terrain, they could be like a single miniature, they could be a whole army. Whatever you're working on, I would love to have you join our Great Crusade, paint them up, and like the feeling of satisfaction of having like a fully painted army can't be overstressed. I thought I had some more stuff around to show you guys, but I don't know, I guess I don't. So thanks for the donations, Hams fan, and let me check back my super chats. Hams fan and Buddy Knight, thank you for the donations, and thank you to everybody who joined the stream this morning and checked it out. I super appreciate it. Don't forget to look at the channel membership perks and see if you want to join and become a channel member. Most immediately, I'm going to be painting up a Night Lord tutorial, full length, every single brush stroke, no skips. So you can see how I take a miniature from this to this. And I will be releasing that for my channel members, and then it's going to go public a week later. So if you want early access to that, then I hope you check it out. And thanks so much for joining me. Hope you guys have a great day, great afternoon, great evening, wherever you are in the world. Ave Dominus Nox, Iron Within.